a great equalizer when people come together and work together on a project like this. You know, what we say here locally is what we are trying to do is not build houses. We're building community one house at a time.
My name is Ashley Wolf. I'm the Director of Christian Education here at Lakeside Presbyterian. My boss is the president of our local Habitat for Humanity, and he kept telling me that my daughter and I could qualify for a house, and so I applied.
It's actually an international organization. Began in Americus, Georgia. There's a fellow by the name of Millard Fuller, who actually did very well in this world and had made a lot of money, but found himself kind of feeling like he wasn't really making a contribution. And he found his way to a place called Koinonia Farms, and there was challenged by the folks at Koinonia to use his business expertise to make a difference in this world when it came to housing. And the mission of the global organization is to provide safe and affordable, decent housing for everyone.
We've been living at my mom's house because there's a lack of affordable quality housing in Storm Lake, Iowa. The rent for a 2-bedroom apartment probably costs about as much as I'm going to be paying for my house payments, but unfortunately they're in bad apartment complexes, you know, like there's bugs and stuff, so I feel very blessed that Naomi and I do get to build our house and live in it and pay for it. So.
We rarely have the benefit of professional construction people. We do use professional plumbers and electricians to do those tasks, but we rely, you know, otherwise heavily on the community, volunteers from students to retired folks and everything in between.
For us to go out to Habitat for Humanity, one of the biggest reasons was that it's one of the things that we've built into our business plan for our program is to get out and be in the community and to try and make a difference. It's one of the 4 visions that we have set up for the program, so to have the opportunity to give back to something like Habitat and have it happen this early in the year, it was, to start with, it was just a convenient way for us to get out and make that happen. But like I said, it's really important for us as a program that when we do have those opportunities outside of the season to make sure we make a good impact in the community.
We will work with local suppliers. ProBuild here in Storm Lake has been a terrific partner for us. And so the lumber, the drywall, much of that stuff comes directly from them. It's bought locally. You know, and I think that's something people really need to understand about Habitat is we really do make a significant economic contribution to the community. You know, I would say at least 60 to 70% of the material is purchased new in the community. The dollars go into the community funds. When that house is completed, that house is sold to the person. They make house payments to us at 0% interest. That's a huge point, and that's one of the principles of Habitat. And they're also paying taxes, and you know, as in anybody who moves into a new house, you know, one of the greatest engines for economic development is in any community is housing development. And that's exactly what happens when a new Habitat family moves in as well. They're like everybody else. This is the way Habitat for Humanity works. So you get a call or you get an email and says, I've just done something in my house, I've got some extra materials. And so he called me about a month ago, I guess it was, and said, I've got the floor, all the nails are pulled, do you want it? And so all the pieces came together. So we'll have a hardwood floor in here that I don't think anyone was expecting. So, yeah, Habitat is the coming together of all kinds of different possibilities to build a community, one house at a time.
Well, as far as volunteering goes, it's a big part of what I brought in to the program, but it's also a big part of the overall mission here at the Univista. It's part of what the university is about, giving back to the community, teaching the students to be servants, and also teaching them, you know, some values that they can carry on when they go out into their professional world and get their first job. They gain some valuable experiences by going out and volunteering in different situations. So it's a little bit of the university, and it's a little bit of what we feel like is important to our program also.
I do 200 hours of work. Some of that can come from community service, which I have done partially. I'm a mentor. And then 50 hours of that can be donated by someone who is new to working at Habitat. And so like there's plenty of hours out there for the 50 hours if that's needed. The thing that I think a lot of people have a misconception about Habitat is that they're not giving a person a house. What they're doing is giving them something far better. They're giving them the ability to buy a house on their own time. So they make the house payment low enough so that Naomi and I will be able to afford it.
What we want to do is provide some guidance so that they can be productive and leave with a sense of satisfaction in having made a contribution. You know, usually our challenge is getting enough volunteers, and some days we're overwhelmed with too many volunteers, and the challenge of keeping them all productive is there. We need to do our best to make sure they have the guidance so they can work safely and effectively.
The thing is, we're always looking for volunteers. We're looking not just for volunteers on the building site, and I think that's actually an important thing, that you don't have to be able to build a house to help. The board is structured with committees. There's a family selection and family selection committee. They're responsible for finding those families, vetting them, and then walking beside them through the process and continuing to work with them in home ownership. There's the site selection and build committee, and those are the guys that know which end of a hammer to hold and which to swing, and that's a place where it's great to have also professionals like attorneys who can help us. Bankers are great to have there too. There's fundraising and public relations committee, and there's always need for kind of finding new and exciting ways. I just got in my email today the Halloween pumpkin carving contest that they're going to sponsor. So anyone who's a little creative and doesn't mind asking people to do something a little crazy, there's a room for them there. And then there's volunteer coordination and church relations committee. Takes a lot of people and takes coordination to get things done. So there are lots of different ways you can get involved. You can be on site as just a coordinator, someone who makes sure people sign in, that they've got water, that the food is there. You can just prepare a meal and bring it to the work site on a Saturday or on a Wednesday. There are just so many wonderful ways that you can get involved. And at a very minimum, drive past the site and see how exciting it is when you realize that there's a family who would never have been able to even think about home ownership, working hard inside that house to build their own house with us.
If there's something happening, there's a reason for it, and I just feel so blessed to be getting a house eventually that I have nothing but patience for the whole process.
We don't build houses for people, we build houses with people, and we build them with people so that there's community.
There's just been so many people who have helped, from donating food and water for the work crews and the people who give up their time. And to all of them, I would like to say thank you so much for allowing Naomi and me to be able to have a home.
Thank you to everyone in Dad's build.